Causes of Native American tribal migrations and their impact on culture. Explore the key causes behind Native American tribal migrations and how these movements shaped Native culture, heritage, and history. Why did Native American tribes move? Understanding the causes of tribal migrations. Hey there! I wanted to share something fascinating about Native American tribes and their migrations throughout history. You know, when you think about migration today, it's often tied to jobs, safety, or better living conditions. But just imagine how complex it was for Native peoples moving across vast lands long before modern transportation or borders. So what caused these tribal migrations? There wasn't just one reason. There were several, sometimes overlapping factors that influenced why Native American people shifted locations over time. 1. Environmental changes and natural resources. One big factor was the environment. Tribes depended heavily on their local ecosystems for food, shelter, and materials. If there was a drought, depletion of game animals, or other significant climate shifts, tribes might have been forced to move to find better hunting and gathering grounds. For example, some nomadic plains tribes followed bison herds, which means their migration patterns were tied directly to the movements of these animals. 2. Pressure from other tribes and conflicts. Intertribal dynamics also played a huge role. Sometimes tribes moved to escape conflict or to avoid being absorbed or defeated by stronger neighboring groups. This wasn't always just about fighting. Alliances, trade disputes, and competition for rich lands or key resources could spark migrations. War and peace in various forms were catalysts that shifted tribal territories. 3. European contact and colonization. Then, of course, contact with European settlers radically changed the equation. The arrival of Europeans brought forced relocations, such as during the infamous Trail of Tears, where entire tribes were relocated to make way for settlers. Beyond forced moves, the introduction of new diseases, loss of traditional lands, and changing political landscapes pushed many native peoples to migrate in search of safety and new opportunities. 4. Economic opportunities and trade routes. Some migrations were motivated by expanding trade networks or access to new economic opportunities. Tribes often moved closer to rivers or trails to engage in trade with other tribes or Europeans. Access to goods like metal tools, horses, or other commodities sometimes encouraged relocation to more strategic areas. 5. Spiritual and cultural reasons. It's also important to remember that movement wasn't always out of necessity. Some Native American culture emphasized seasonal migration as part of their way of life. Religious ceremonies, visions, or dreams might have guided some tribes to relocate as part of their spiritual journeys or renewal processes. Migration could be deeply tied to maintaining heritage and connection to the land in a dynamic way. 6. Climate and geological factors over millennia. Looking way back, millennia ago, huge climatic events like the Ice Age's ending caused massive migrations as land and water sources shifted. These ancient movements set the stage for many tribal settlements and divisions later on. The adaptability and resilience of native peoples in adjusting to these changes is a testament to their deep knowledge of the land. All these factors show us how interconnected Native American history is with the land, other peoples, and changing conditions over time. It's not just stories of movement, but stories of survival, adaptation, and maintaining identity through constant change. If you're interested in exploring more about Native stories and heritage, I highly recommend checking out For Such a Time as This. It's a great read that brings to life the spirit and resilience of Native peoples through engaging narratives. Get your copy today and immerse yourself in the rich fabric of Native American heritage and experience perspectives that often go unheard. So next time someone talks about migration, remember that for many Native American tribes, movement was about so much more than just a change of scenery. It was entwined with their culture, history, and survival.